welcome back to my channel. So yes, it's been a while since I've done my nails, but I told you guys the last time that I did them that I would be doing a soak off the next time. So this is the next time, and as you can see, they look a hot mess. I literally have like polish and stuff all over them. As far as my bling, as you can see, everything stayed on really good. I'm only missing 2 on this nail, but other than that, they still look pretty good. The reason why I'm doing a new set is because I don't like my real nails underneath my acrylic. They just look really dirty and I always get like polish and dust under them. But we're gonna get started and we're gonna be doing a soak off. So the only and proper way to remove acrylic nails is by using acetone, by soaking them in acetone. One thing that you do want to make sure that you know is that getting a nail clipper or a nippers or a nail tip and like basically forcing the acrylic off your natural nail is not the way to do it. I've seen people like on YouTube, or not even YouTube, but like Instagram. It was actually like somebody, an influencer. He was recording getting his nails done, and they were literally using a tip and putting it under the acrylic and just like taking the nail off that way. And I don't know if a lot of people know or not, but that is definitely not the way to take your acrylic nails off. You either want to use some of these, which are like little bows to soak your nails off. You can use a regular glass bowl, just fill it up with acetone and soak off your nails that way. Or you could either use like the little clips with acetone and cotton ball and put them over your fingers. But you do not want to do anything like that's gonna pull off your acrylic nails, because that's gonna damage your natural nails. That's gonna tear off layers from your natural nails. So if your nails feel weak and they hurt and they removed them by like basically breaking them off or pulling them off, that is damaging your natural nails. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I've been seeing this a lot lately, like people getting their nails taken off by them, like literally like forcing them off. I even seen like an influencer doing that. I think he was getting his nails done and he was recording, and he was like, oh my god, you know, this is so easy. This is how my nail tech is taking off my nails. And I literally like, I couldn't keep watching because they were literally like ruining his nails and he had no idea. So make sure that you're well aware. And the thing that bothers me the most is that they're charging people to soak their nails off, but literally all they're doing is janking them off. So make sure that you're not one of those people that are doing that, because you are damaging your client's nail. But anyways, first thing that I'm doing is I'm just going in with a pair of nippers to remove my bling. As you can see, I'm still kind of having a hard time to take them off, and it's literally been close to 3 weeks. So I'm just going in with the nippers and just taking them off. And then I'm gonna, let me see, of course I'm not gonna leave my nails long under this, or I mean after I take my acrylic off. See, I'm still having a hard time trying to take that off. Okay, I can't get that off. But anyways, now I'm just gonna go in and just trim down the acrylic. I'm gonna cut them down as low as I can because of course I don't want to keep my nails long underneath, so there's no reason to waste product by soaking off like just product that doesn't have to be soaked off, if that makes sense. But I'm just using my tip cutter to cut the nails down as short as I can. Okay, it's like I'm forcing my tip cutter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a nail clipper. Again, we're just cutting them down as low as we can. And of course, if you want to leave your natural nails long underneath, then you don't have to cut them, just leave them how they are. Same thing for this hand. So again, first step would either be to remove your bling and then cut them down. Okay, so I cut them down as low as I could. So now I'm gonna go in with a coarse drill bit, and what I'm gonna be doing is just following filing the nails down or the acrylic down as much as I can. That way I don't take forever to soak the nails off. So again, this is a coarse drill bit. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my dust collector on in a second, but we're just gonna be filing down the acrylic as much as we can. As you can see, they're not super thick. They're not super thick, but they are pretty thick. So I'm just gonna be filing down the acrylic. And then this coarse drill bit is by Pana, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description. But make sure that you're only filing the acrylic. You don't want to file on your natural nail, because since it is a coarse drill bit, you will damage your natural nail. But just file as much as you can. Alrighty, so here's the first hand. As you can see, they're pretty thin now compared to, well, you can't really tell. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it like this. So see, they're like way thinner compared to the other hand. And the reason why I do this is because by me thinning them down, it's just gonna save us a lot of time whenever we soak off. Okay, so I filed both of my hands now. Again, what I did was I just followed down the acrylic, basically just thinned it out, so whenever it's time to soak off the nails, I'm not going to be soaking for a really long time. So the little bows that I use to soak off my nails are these. You can find them on eBay, on Amazon, wherever. And then I'm gonna just use pure acetone. I get my pure acetone from my local nail supply store, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill up the little, what are they called, I'm just gonna fill it up. And again, you could use just like a normal glass bowl, you know, whatever you want to use, and just fill it up with acetone. Of course, not all the way up, just enough to where it covers your natural nails. I filled up both of them. I'm gonna get the dust collector out of the way. Okay, so then now all you have to do is literally just put your fingers in. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them soak. It's gonna take anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes or even less with me filing down the acrylic, but you literally just want to sit your fingers in here. And yes, it does take a little bit of time, but this is the healthy way to do it because you're not damaging your natural nails. Again, it's really important that you don't let anyone, whether it's a nail tech, whether it's yourself, just rip off your nails, because you are damaging your natural nails, and it's going to be painful the next time you try to do a set because your nails are really thin. So I'm going to go ahead and let them soak, and then I'll keep you guys updated. But again, it's going to take anywhere from really like 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure you don't take the nails out or your hands out, just leave them in there, and then you're going to be able to see the acrylic soaking off after a while. It's going to start getting like gooey, I guess, but you're gonna be able to see, you know, it actually soaking off. So I will see you guys in a second, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated throughout the process. I am in the soaking process. It's been about not even 5 minutes, and as you can see, the acrylic is already soaking off. So I know it takes a little bit of time, so I went ahead and just got in the bed and I'm watching Grey's Anatomy while it soaks. But again, I'll keep you guys updated, and it's going really fast. Again, it's not even 5 minutes. I literally just came and started watching TV, and this is what's happened so far. Alrighty, y'all, so it's been about another 5 minutes, and as you can see, a lot of the acrylic is starting to come off really easily. So I'm just gonna let them keep soaking. You could remove some of it by like wiping them off and just following the acrylic just a little bit to speed up the process, but since I'm already soaking, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish soaking. But as you can see, even just with my fingernail, I can scrape some of the acrylic off and it's coming off really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue soaking, and I will keep you guys updated some more. Alrighty y'all, so it's been another like 10 minutes, and for the most part all of the acrylic is completely soaked off. Let me see. Yeah, I think for the most part all of the acrylic is gone. Let me see. Yeah, I think same for both hands. That's just from the acetone, but once I wash my hands and just give them a gentle buff and shape them, they will come back to life. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my table, and we're gonna keep going. Alrighty, so all of the acrylic is soaked off. So now what I have to do is just go in there and just reshape my nails. And I'm just using my 100 nail file. And I'm just gonna file them down as much as I can, because again, I don't like my nails long under my acrylic. And also something else that I wanted to mention is that my nails are not like paper thin, like they're not just going to bend, and that's what you want. You don't want your nails literally paper thin to where they're bending every time you pick something up. So this is why you want to soak your nails off. And I'm actually not gonna go ahead and do my acrylics today just because it's barely Monday and I'm going out of town Friday, so I don't want to mess up my nails. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give them a gentle buff, and that's just gonna get rid of that little white pieces on my nail, which is just from soaking off the nails. Alrighty, so I gave them a gentle buff, so now I'm just gonna go wash my hands and I will be right back. Alrighty, so I just washed my hands and this is what they look like. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in with these OPI nail strengthener, and I'm just gonna apply this on every nail. And I'm just gonna be wearing them like this until I actually do my acrylics. Alrighty, so I did the nail straightener and this is what my nails look like. So again, I'm just gonna wait until the end of the week to actually do my acrylic. So if you see me doing a video, just know that my nails are coming back soon. So just keep watching and hope you enjoy. Okay, so finally I'm gonna be doing my full set. So I've already took off the nail straightener that I had on my nails. So of course the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with this cuticle pusher and we're just gonna push our cuticles back. And when we're doing this is basically just exposing our new growth, and it's also going to help with preventing lifting. So again, I'm just using my Tammy Taylor peel and stick cuticle pusher, and I'm just pushing back my cuticles. Okay, so after we finish pushing back the cuticles, I'm going to go in with my 180 sanding band to remove the shine from my natural nail. Remember that when we're doing this, we're only filing to remove the shine. We're not filing to thin them out, none of that. And then also I use it at the lowest speed, so that's like all the way down. And then I just literally turn it on to where it speed up a little bit. So as always, just go around the cuticle area first, just going back and forth from the right side over to the left side, making sure you get really close to that cuticle. And then also just filing the rest of the nail to remove the shine. So same thing on all of the nails. Again, always just go around that cuticle area first and then filing the rest of the nail. And also when you're doing this, you don't want to use anything more coarse than a 180 because you will damage your client's nail. Again, we're only doing this to remove the shine because our nails produce a lot of oils. And if we just apply the acrylic over the oily nail, they're going to lift really easily. So just make sure that you remove that shine. As you can see, when I'm doing my nails, I'm holding my fingers with my thumb. That's so I get more stability. If I was just to hold my finger like this, my finger is not stable. It could move at any time. So me holding it with my thumb just helps a lot. If you want to put your hand on something, that's fine too. But usually what I do is just hold them with my thumb.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed.
So same thing for this other hand. The only difference is that a lot of the time I like to file downwards instead of going around because it's just a lot easier for me. So you just have to find whatever works for you best and whatever you feel comfortable with doing. So I go around the cuticle area, being really gently because of course I'm doing this with my left-handed and I mean with my left hand, and I am right-handed. Alrighty, and also as you can see, I do have a few little cuts on this finger. This is from when I was removing my acrylic nails and I accidentally cut myself when removing or when filing down my nails. So even after a while of doing my nails, I still have accidents like that. But anyways, now we're going to go in with the nail tips. I'm going to be using my natural nail tips. And then as always, I'm going to be using my KDS glue, which looks like this. And remember, your nail tips, they come like these come in a number 0 to a number 9. So your number 0 is going to be your biggest nail tip, which would be for, of course, like a thumb. So it's like really big. As you can see, it's like way bigger than my thumb. And then your number 9 will be the tiniest nail, your smallest nail. So this one would kind of fit. Yeah, this one will fit my pinky. So again, number 0 is the biggest nail tip and number 9 is your smallest nail tip. And remember that when you're applying nail tips, if one tip is too small and the other one is too big, always go with the bigger one and just file it down to fit perfectly. So first I'm going to start off with my pinky. So I'm going to go ahead and get a nail tip. And this one fits perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply the nail glue right on the tip. Oops. And then I'm going to turn the nail around, hold my finger really straight, glue it down, and then just hold it for a few seconds. And this glue actually dries really fast, so I don't have to hold it down for too long, as you can see there. My ring finger is usually like a number 6 or 5. So see, this one's a little bit too big, like just a tiny bit. And then this other one, which is number 6, will probably be too small. As you can see there, my nail is still hanging off a little bit. So we're gonna go with the bigger one and just gently file it down on the sides, like literally just a little bit. We're gonna measure it. Still need to go down a little bit more. That should be good. So again, if one's too big and the other one's too small, always go with the bigger one and just file it down on the sides to make it fit perfectly. And another thing is making sure that you hold your fingers really straight when you're gluing on the nail tips. So I finished applying the nail tips. Again, I used the natural nail tips, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mention it again. So the way to know if you need to use clear nail tips or natural nail tips or colored tips or white tips would really be like, does your client want a French tip? Then of course you would use white nail tips if they want white nail tips. If you just want like regular color over your nails, then you would just do the natural nail tips. Or if your client wants like the the clear look where, you know, you could probably get some encapsulated flowers or glitter and you want it to be see-through, then you would use the clear nail tips. And then the colored tips are really just based on your client. Not a lot of people use the colored tips, but I know there's some people that do, and that's just kind of like based on what your client wants. But again, for the most part, I use the natural nail tips unless my clients want see-through nails or the clear nails. Or also if you do like the jelly polish, then you would need clear nail tips as well. But anyways, after we apply the nail tips, we're gonna go ahead and use a tip cutter to trim down the nails. I don't want them super long, so I'm probably gonna just, let me see, I'm probably gonna cut like right there. It's not like too long or too short.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process.
So same thing for the other hand. Just cut straight across. Make sure that you go back and measure your nails against each other to make sure that they're all pretty much the same length. Okay, so I cut them down to the length that I want them, and I'm just gonna be trimming down the sides because I want them like a coffin shape. So I'm just using a straight edge nail clipper, and I'm just trimming down the sides, and this is gonna help us save time whenever we start filing. So as you can see, I'm literally just cutting like the corners off. Alrighty, so I cut the sides down. So now I'm gonna go in with my 100 nail file, and we're gonna be shaping them into a coffin, but more like a what do they call it? A tapered shape, because I don't want them like super narrow. So as always, we're gonna be filing the sides at a 45-degree angle, making sure that we go from the nail groove to the tip of the nail or the free edge. So just make sure you alternate from side to side. You don't want to file too much on one side because then your nail is going to be crooked. And also make sure that when you're doing this, you're watching the shape as you go, because then you will be able to, you know, determine which side you need to file a little bit more on. Okay, so once we have the shape, after that we're just going to blend the nail tip right in the middle. But see, it's more of a tapered shape because I don't want them like super narrow, and I also don't want them like super squarish, if that makes sense. But again, going at a 45-degree angle on the sides. And then filing at exactly a 90-degree angle at the free edge to make sure that we get the super straight tip. And then sometimes I have to hold my or put my finger down on something, that way I can get that perfect like super straight shape, just like that. And then again, we're just blending the tip right in the middle. And same thing for the rest. So again, just whatever works for you, whether it's putting your hand on something or resting your hand or something, or whether it's holding your hand like this and just using your thumb to, you know, get more stability. Whatever works for you. I know whatever works for me might not work for everyone else, but again, we all do stuff differently. So yeah, we're just gonna keep shaping the nails, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. This hand, as you can see, looks really good. They're not too long or too short. They actually look really good, like but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to this hand. The only difference is that, again, since I am right-handed and I'm doing this with my left-handed, instead of filing back and forth, I like to just hold my file like this, and I move this hand back and forth. So same thing, 45-degree angle. As you can see, I'm holding the file from the nail, from the side of the nail, which is the nail groove, to the tip, and I alternate from side to side. And again, it's really important that when you're doing this, you're watching what you're doing, because you're going to be able to watch your shape change. And then like right now, I can tell that I still need to make the nail a little bit more narrow, so I need to file on both sides. Just like that, and then blending the tip right in the middle. So same thing, 45-degree angle on the side.
Just like that.
Alrighty, so once I finish reshaping the nails, we're gonna go ahead and dust them off. And this is what they look like so far. So we have a really nice shape. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the acrylic application. Alrighty, so for my acrylic, I'm gonna be using my Mia Secret acrylic system as always. I'm gonna be using my Cover Rose by, and I just spilled it, but I'm using my Cover Rose by Mia Secret, and then my clear. And then I'm also gonna be using my glow in the dark powder. You might already know what I'm gonna be doing. I know I haven't had this style in a while, so I'm gonna be doing the glow in the dark ombre. So first, before we start the acrylic application, we have to go in and apply the primer. So I'm just applying this on the natural nail. Remember to not get it on the skin, because if you have any little cuts, it will burn you really bad. Alrighty, so we applied the primer. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the acrylic. So I'm gonna move this a little bit closer so you guys can see. But again, I'm using my Mia Secret acrylic system, and then my brush is a number 10 oval by Alpha Brush. And as always, I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down in the description. And then also, I do want to mention that people were saying that their brushes, like the bristles, were like not coming apart, but like spreading apart. And just make sure that when you use the Alpha Brush, after each set, you clean it off, and then also make sure that you flatten it out like this. I always keep my brush really nice and flat. That way, when I'm ready to use it, it's really clean and flat, and the bristles are not all over the place. But anyways, again, we're gonna be doing the ombre look. So that's why I did the natural nail tips, because they're already that whitish color, and I'm gonna be using basically the same color to use to do the ombre. And this one is actually gonna glow in the dark. And you guys know that I mix my own glow in the dark powder, and I do have a video on that, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description. But anyways, we're gonna get started. So I'm dipping my brush into the liquid, wiping it off. I'm gonna get a bead of acrylic, so not too much. I'm gonna place it right on the tip, patting it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip. I'm gonna go ahead and only do the tips, because again, we are doing an ombre. So we're only applying it on the tip. So we did this thumb. So now we're gonna move on to the next ones, and basically same thing again. We just get a bead of acrylic, and we're just applying it at the tip. So we place it down, pat it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip. And basically just blending it in the middle. We don't want a super harsh line. We want it to just blend right in the middle. And it's, for some reason, to me, I feel like it's a lot easier to go ahead and just do all of the tips when doing ombre, and then coming back and doing your cover color. And then also when applying your acrylic, it helps if you place your finger down on something to get some stability. So I'm just going to be using the same little acrylic container.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here.
Make sure that when you're applying the acrylic, you're wiping the sides off. And then as you can see, we're only working with a little bit of acrylic at a time. As you guys know, I don't like to use a lot of product because I don't want to have to do a lot of filing at the end. So I'm just grabbing small beads, placing it down at the tip, pat it down, and then brushing it down towards the tip. And if the acrylic starts running to the sides, make sure that you clean it up ASAP. That way you don't have dried acrylic underneath your nail. Alright, so we did the tips so far. So again, as you can see, we don't have like a harsh line in the middle. We kind of blended it up. And this acrylic will glow in the dark. So the tips will glow in the dark. The back part will not, because I'm using the Cover Pink or Cover Rose. Let me go ahead and close it so I can show you guys, because I just spilled it a second ago. But it is the Cover Rose by Mia's Secret, and it's like a pinkish color. So now this one we're going to be applying at the back. So same thing, get a small bead, placing it closer to the cuticle area. And when we brush this one down, we're not going to brush it all the way down towards the tip. We're just going to blend it like right in the middle. So make sure that you're really gentle when you're brushing. You see it blends really good in the middle. We're going to come back and apply another one closer to the cuticle area. Make sure that you're really gentle when you're working around the cuticle area so you don't get that product on the skin. Alrighty, so we did 2 beads and it looked pretty good. So now we're going to go in with the clear and we're just going to encapsulate both of the colors. So I'm doing a bead closer to the back, and this one I'm going to brush all the way throughout the nail. Cleaning the side so it doesn't take away from our shape a lot, and then going back and cleaning around the cuticle area. Alrighty, so that's the first finished nail. The colors look really good together. So we're going to do the same thing on the rest. So again, make sure that when you're doing this, you're not working with a lot of product at a time. As you can see, I'm getting like really small beads. Place it down. You have to first learn how to control your product, and it's better if you work with smaller beads. That way it's not all over the skin or running to the side of the nail or none of that. So once we have the colors in the back, we're going to go ahead and encapsulate the two together with the clear.
and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so I just finished this hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. So we're gonna be doing the same thing. Again, we're doing the natural color at the tip, and then we're doing the cover rose at the back and encapsulating all of them with the clear acrylic. As you can see, they look really pretty already. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Alrighty, so for the other hand, we're basically gonna be doing the same thing. So we pick up a bead, place it right on the tip, pat it down, and brushing it down towards the tip. And when you're doing your dominant hand with your less dominant, is that how you say dominant? Whatever. So you have to it's just going to take a little bit of practice to kind of find what works for you, whether it's, you know, you holding your brush a certain way or you placing your hand on something. You're just going to have to, you know, try different things and then you decide what works for you best. So when I'm doing this, I kind of just switch it up as I'm going and don't even notice it. So right now I'm just holding my thumb like this, but in a minute you might see me holding it a different way. So again, different things are going to work for different people, but I'm going to do the same thing as the other hand. I'm going to go ahead and do all of the tips, and I'm going to come back and do all of the covered color. See, so now I need something to rest my hand on. So same thing, placing the bead, patting it down. And also make sure that when you're doing this, you're wiping your brush off a lot, because these colored acrylics tend to get stuck to your brush really easily. So wipe your brush a lot when you're working. Alrighty, so we finished doing all of the tips. This is what it looks like. So now we're gonna go in with the cover color at the back. So remember, when we're doing this, make sure you're not using a lot of product at the end. Make sure that you're not using a lot of product. That way you're able to control where your product goes. And then also make sure that when you're brushing it down, you're not brushing all the way down towards the tip, because you want the colors to blend right in the middle. Make sure you clean the sides off really good. I'm gonna do another bead closer to the cuticle area, patting it down.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here together is evidence of that. mankind won't be destroyed.
Alrighty, so I finished doing the acrylic on all of my nails, and this is what they look like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put everything up. So again, I used the Mia Secret Clear, which looks like this, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description to everything. I also used the Cover Rose, and then the one that I did on the tips is actually the glow in the dark powder, which I mixed myself. I have it in this little OPI container, but it's just a mixture of white, clear, and then the glow in the dark powder. And again, I do have a video on how to mix up your your glow in the dark powders, so I'll be sure to leave that down in the description as well. Alrighty, so now after we finish applying the acrylic, we're gonna go ahead and go back in with the 100 nail file, and we're just gonna be reshaping the nails. So same thing, we're just gonna be filing the sides at a 45-degree angle. And filing the free edge at a 90-degree angle to make sure that we have that perfect shape that we want. Alrighty, so we reshaped this hand. So now we're gonna do the same thing on this hand, and then the same thing applies for when I reshape this hand. Instead of moving my file back and forth, I just hold my file and I move my finger back and forth. It's much easier for me.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so I finished reshaping both hands. So now we're gonna start filing them with the e-file, and I'm gonna be using this little drill bit that I found in my drawer. I couldn't find my other one, but it is a fine drill bit by McCart, and I'll be sure to leave the link in the description. So remember, when we're doing this, we want to focus around the cuticle area first, because that's where a lot of our lifting comes from. So we always start on the right side, working our way around the cuticle, making sure that we can see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way we know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And once we can see all those three things, then we can focus on filing the rest of the nail. And to file the rest of the nail, we just use the belly of the drill bit. So for the cuticle area, we use the very tip, and then for the rest of the nail, we use the belly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna go ahead and speed up my drill bit a little bit, just like that. So again, go around the cuticle area first. Just go back and forth, making sure that you get on the sides really good, because again, that's where a lot of our lifting will come from. Alrighty, so just like that. So same thing for all of the nails. We're going around the cuticle area first, going back and forth. And remember, if you don't seal that cuticle area really good, any water or moisture or anything that gets trapped in between the natural nail and the acrylic will cause the nail to lift. Alrighty, so we finished filing this hand. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other one. So basically it's gonna be the same thing, except for you have to be really careful not to cut yourself. So we're gonna go around the cuticle area.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so we finished filing all of the nails. So now we're gonna go in with the buffer and we're just gonna buff all of the nails. And what this is going to do is just get rid of any of the scratches left on our nails from the hand file or the e-file. Alrighty, so we finished buffing all of the nails. This is what they look like. So now I'm just gonna go wash my hands and I will be right back. Alrighty, so I washed my hands. So now I'm gonna go in and apply some bling. I don't want too much. I do know that I want the pinkies blinged out. So as always, I'm gonna be using my Color Club polish in the color Just My Luck. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the pinkies. Alrighty, so for my bling, I'm going to be using my Mia Secret Gel Resin, which looks like this. I'm going to be using my SS6, my SS12, and then I'm also going to be adding some white pearls in there. So I'm just going to apply the gel resin on the nail. I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to start picking up my bling. Again, I'm using my SS6, SS12, and then the white pearls. Remember that when you're doing this, just alternate between the different sizes. That way they don't all just look the same. So just like that, and then I don't know if I just want to leave it like that or add something else. Okay, of course I'm going to be adding something else, so I'm going to go ahead and just do, okay, so I'm just going to do some around the cuticle area on my index finger. So I applied the glue, picking up the bling with the wax pencil and just placing it on the nail. Alrighty, so I think I'm just gonna leave them like this. So now I'm gonna go in and just spray those with the activator, and this is gonna help that glue dry a lot faster. And then of course for my top coat, I'm gonna be using my IBD Intense Seal UV top coat. Alrighty, so I applied the top coat and this is what they look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this under the light, and I'm gonna be using my body UV LED lamp, and I'm gonna cure them for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so this hand is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So again, on the pinky, we're doing this Color Club in the color Just My Luck. And this is just a silver, like holographic polish. And I just use this underneath my bling because if anything falls off, it won't be as noticeable. Alrighty, so while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and do my index finger, and we're just gonna be doing the same thing as this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Mia Secret Gel Resin. We're just applying it around the cuticle area. Alrighty, so just like that, and now I'm gonna go in and apply the same Mia Secret Gel Resin on my pinky. And then we're gonna go ahead and fill the whole thing in with the SS6, SS12, and the pearls. Alrighty, so we finished applying the bling. So now I'm just gonna spray them with the activator. And then now I'm just gonna go in and apply the top coat on this hand as well.
I don't deny there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that.
Alrighty, so now I'm gonna put this under the light for 60 seconds. And then again, we use the Mia Secret Gel Resin. We use the IBD top coat. And then I also use the Color Club polish in the color Just My Luck. And this one, they used to sell them at my local nail supply store and they stopped. So next time I have to buy one, I'll have to get it from Amazon or whoever else has it. Alrighty y'all, so here is the final look. They turned out really pretty. That ombre is just so perfect and that bling went so good with it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNill32, and I will see you guys next time. And then I'm also going to be showing you how they look like in the dark. This is what they look like in the dark. So it is a blue glow in the dark acrylic. Again, I do have the video on how to do this, so I'll leave that down in the description.